Hello everyone, this is Joe Sport from Fantasy Team Assist, and this is it, the finale, Week 17 in the NFL, and all good things come to an end. Brief recap on Week 16. Unfortunately, the lineup that I posted in the video last week, the actual lineup video, had Tyler Lockett in all three lineups. Now, I mentioned in the video that it's a good pick because Baldwin hadn't practiced. Now, I went away and I wasn't able to update a video because I think they announced on Saturday that he was going to play, and that pushed Lockett from number one slot to the second slot, and that was no longer... I guess it could have been good if you wanted to roll the dice, but obviously with Baldwin there, he was going to eat up most of the targets. So it didn't work out, so he didn't get a lot of fantasy points. So hopefully you guys noticed that Baldwin was going to play and you pulled Lockett. Now in the matchup video, I do mention Breeze, and Breeze turned out to really have a really good game. And so hopefully you watched the matchup video and you made some lineups with Breeze and Bortles. So now this is it. Now the dangerous thing about this week is that it's Week 17, it's the last week, and a lot of teams that have made the playoffs, or even teams that aren't going to make the playoffs but have a player that is iffy, maybe they have a nagging injury, they may pull him or they may not play him just because it's the last game and the game doesn't really mean much, or they may play him limited, maybe the first quarter or two, or maybe in the third quarter they'll just go ahead and pull him. So you just got to be wary of that. Now with that being said, obviously you want to pick, if you can, but they're going to be heavily owned, but the players that actually have something to play for. Okay, now the matchup, I have both here. I have lineups here and I have the matchups that I like. So Eli Manning, he has a really good matchup. Doesn't have much to play for, but I do feel that they are going to play Eli Manning all game. Odell, he was out. The big controversy last week, he was suspended. So I do think that Odell doesn't want to go out like that, and he's going to need his number one quarterback throwing him the ball so he can kind of redeem himself to the fans and whatnot. So I like Eli Manning. They're going against the Eagles. It's a divisional game. The last time the Giants played against the Eagles, Eli Manning had a bad game. So I do feel that Eli Manning would want to make up for that bad game that he had against the Eagles, which is a divisional game. It's a big deal. So the Eagles are the 7th worst pass defense. So he's in a good spot. So I definitely like Eli Manning. Now another quarterback I like is Matt Ryan. All right, Julio Jones had an incredible catch last week. He put up some good fantasy points, and so they're going against the Saints. Now the Saints give up they're the second worst pass defense. We all know that the Saints can't stop the pass. So Matt Ryan is definitely another good pick. If you want to stack him with Julio Jones, that's great. Definitely, Hankerson isn't playing, so Julio Jones is already an outstanding player, but the fact that they don't have Hankerson makes Julio Jones even that much more valuable. So now, this is another wide receiver that I like, but a little bit of a riskier play, as we said earlier. Hopkins, they don't have much to play for in this last game, but they're going against the Jaguars, and the Jaguars are the 4th worst pass defense. Okay, so now if you want to go ahead and roll the dice and pick a player that has a lot of upside, had a really good game last week, but now we don't know if he's going to get pulled or not. But now this could be a very low owned player, but yet with a really high ceiling. So Hopkins, if they do decide to play the whole game, play him the whole game, and he has a great game, I don't think he's going to be that high owned. And obviously against the Jags, it's a good matchup. But that's up to you if you want to go that route. Now, some running backs. DeAngelo Williams, obviously, I would say arguably he is the best running back of the year. I know Todd Gurley has some good weeks, but definitely all in all, even with Bell playing for some games, I do like DeAngelo Williams, and he's going against the lowly Browns. That's right, they're last once again. Last year they were last, and this year they're probably going to finish last again. They're currently last against the run. So he's in a great spot. Yes, the Browns lately have been able to stop running backs from reaching the end zone, so which I guess is a negative, but still, regardless, they give up the most most running yards. Now, next running back. Okay, Jennings from the Giants. Again, the Giants, once they get a lead on the Eagles, they're going to start running the ball. And the good thing about Jennings is he catches the ball. So running backs that catch the ball, that's double stacking points. So Jennings, and he's really cheap. I think he's $5,800 this week. He has come up. But still at $5,800, I do think that he is going to, and he is currently the cowbell for the Giants. And he's going against the Eagles, which are the fourth worst run defense. Okay, they give up the fourth most running yards. Now, two lineups that I put together here, they don't have any kickers, okay, but I left at least $4,500 in the lineups, so that way you can go and pick a kicker if you want to go ahead with this lineup. So there is room for a picker that you can choose. But here we've got Ben Roethlisberger. He has something. They're playing for a spot in the playoffs, and they had a bad game last week. And historically, when the Steelers have a bad game, they come back and have a really good game. So I definitely like the spot for Ben Roethlisberger. Again, Jennings, and then Tim Hightower for the Saints played really well. I think he's $7,000 this week. The price isn't bad. And now we've got Antonio Brown stacked with Roethlisberger, and then Martavis Bryant. Really do think that this high-powered offense is going to be able to spread the ball around, and instead of just going ahead with one, their top guy, go ahead and put both of them in there. I think it'll be worth it, especially this week where they're going to be passing the ball a lot because they need this win. Now, Cooks, I like Cooks for the Saints also. Good spot for him. Zach Miller, with that style of offense, they play with a lot of tight end. They have a lot of plays for tight ends. And now with Martavis Bryant out, or Bennett should I say, Zach Miller is the only tight end that they have, and he's getting all the targets. So he's a tight end that is actually like a wide receiver. So I definitely like him, and he's still, I think he's $5,900 this week, so the price isn't that bad. And now a savings right here for the defense, the Colts. The Colts are definitely my favorite defense this week, $4,200, and they're going against the Tennessee Titans, which they're bottom 10 in offense, in total offense, and now they don't have Mariota. They've got, I don't even remember the guy's name. So they have a backup playing, and obviously Texas torched them, destroyed them. I think they scored 6 points last week. So without Mariota in there, that team is lost. And the Colts aren't a bad defense. They should be a little bit more expensive than what they are. All right, now this other lineup, Blake Bortles. Obviously, the guys played really well all year long. Now we've got DeAngelo Williams. I like that pick. Steelers get up. They're going to go ahead and start running the ball. High-powered offense. He's going to have a lot of opportunities near the end zone against the Browns. Definitely Frank Gore. They actually have something to play for this week also. Frank Gore had a good game against the Dolphins last week. Very low owned. And definitely this week, I think he's also slated to have another big game. And once they get up on the Titans, the Colts, they're going to start feeding him the ball. So another pick here is Allen Robinson, the stack with Blake Bortles. And then Allen Hurns. Allen Hurns had a pretty good game. He was in the Millionaire Maker lineup last week. And obviously, if you want to go ahead and eliminate Robinson for Hurns, even though Hurns is considered the second wide receiver, I totally would understand that. Especially after last week. I think Hurns had out-targeted Robinson last week. Now, here's another little sneaky play right there. Michael Crabtree. his price has dropped. He had a decent game. It hasn't been like stellar, but they still. It's the last game of the year. I do like him. He's still getting the targets. I definitely like the fact that the Chiefs are already in the playoffs. They're going against the Chiefs. Stellar defense, but the coach for the Chiefs already has mentioned that he's going to bench their star players. So if they bench, the coach already said they're going to bench players. So that can open up if they bench a couple of players on defense, which they probably will. Crabtree, Cooper, Carr, I do see them. Even Latavius Murray, I kind of like that as a sneaky play. But that's if the Chiefs coach sticks to his word and benches his players. Okay, now Zach Miller, again, tight end, and again, Colts defense. All right, well, those are just two examples of lineups. If you want to mix and match some of the players from up here, as I said, I'm going to have some lineups with Manning. So, well, this is it. This is the last week. This is going to be my last video probably, unless something happens. Oh, I'm going to be out of town again this weekend. So, yes, this is going to be my last video. So, I'm sorry I've been answering emails and the questions on the comment box. I've been answering them late, but I'm sorry. It's just that been out of town every weekend. So once again, I'll be out of town. So pay attention to the injury reports, to practice report, so that way if there is a change, if somebody does get injured, or a coach does announce that they're limited, or if they're limited at practice, definitely, especially this week, do not play them, because coaches usually pull their players for any little thing week 17. All right, well, good luck, and I hope you guys had fun this year. And after this week, I am going to make some videos for basketball, which I've been messing with for a few weeks now. And so, still stay subscribed, because I'm going to be posting some videos about basketball. Thank you, and give me a thumbs up, send me emails, questions, and thank you so much.